Hey everyone, this is Erin from Lady P Collective and welcome to my YouTube channel. So just as a little disclaimer, you'll probably see a dog or two and maybe hear some barking. So let's just try to get through this. It's Sunday, gonna have a comfy day for part of the day, still in my PJs. So I hope you're doing some self-care and comfortable because we're gonna dive into a little bit about narcissism. I know, not the greatest topic and it's very complex, but I felt like we talk about it a lot and I wanted to focus a little bit on reactionary abuse when it comes to narcissism because I had put up a post and I think when people hear that like the post about somebody getting upset because they couldn't kind of control the mind of others. So some people took that as maybe they were the narcissist, right? And so I think number one, if you question whether you're the narcissist or not, you're not the narcissist because the narcissist doesn't question whether or not they're the narcissist. They don't have the insight. They don't think about that. So one, that's a good thing. So if you're ever questioning that, don't. And a lot of times this happens, and it's happened to me, because when you hear that people lash out, you think about yourself, right? And that you've probably lashed out. And the reason why a lot of people think they might be the narcissist is because the narcissist has a way of, in my experience, to get into your head and to make things your fault and to also make things very confusing always. They don't know, they don't recall, they place blame on you. You just always feel crazy. And so you take that with you into other aspects of your life because you don't realize that it's a slow mental and emotional game to them. And what happens is this keeps on going for so long that you start to lose your confidence. You start to question everything. And it gets to the point where there's a thing called reactionary abuse. And that is where the victim lashes out because they can't take it anymore. They can't take the manipulation, the lies. A lot of it is behind closed doors. They're very kind and nice people to other people, and to their victim, they're not. And it's just this web of lies and manipulation and gray area, and you really feel like you're losing it and you just can't take it, and so you react. And then they tell you that you're crazy and that look at how you're reacting. And the way they do it is more, the manipulation part of it is it's slow and it's done in a way that isn't always, yelling on their part. It's just a slow process. And it's very hard for others and even the victim themselves to see that that's happening because it's not always outright. They're not saying, oh, we're doing this. They're always playing the victim on it about the certain stuff. So when people react, they don't realize it's the abuse. They think, oh my God, it's my fault. And then when the abuser says that it's their fault, look how they're acting, they kind of realize, like, why did I act this way? And it puts you in a spiral of guilt and shame. And that's completely different than what the post was about when they can't get into your head. So sometimes when people get treatment for it or leave, or they realize what they're doing, they don't give the attention that the abuser wants to him, sorry. And so with that being said is that when they can't get into your mind, when they cannot control your mind, they will throw a temper tantrum. Usually they don't. Usually the victim is the one seen as throwing a temper tantrum because, again, these slow little manipulative actions that they do. So I wanted to say a few things. If you're experiencing this, it is not you. It is a reactionary abuse. And don't feel shame in that. It is honestly torturous for the emotional and your mental health, and you are going to be reactionary. And I would just say how it's so incredibly hard to keep composed, because when you keep composed and you're doing well and you're not giving them the reaction, they go pretty hardcore to get a reaction out of you, right? Like they will do little things, and because that's what they need to blame you. If they don't have the blame on you, then they don't know what to do because they have to blame you. They have no insight into themselves. And if their behavior doesn't change and they don't have you acting out and acting crazy, then they're on to their next person, right? But keeping calm is also really hard because you know, it's almost like, it sounds horrible, but when you're in the situation, you almost have to or want to give them a little attention just so they literally emotionally and mentally leave you alone. This is once you realize what's happening. So if you're still in that friendship or relationship, or a lot of times it's family related, people, I think I'm going to talk about this at another time. Let me know, you guys, if you want me to, about the family aspect of it, because that's one that people don't talk about as much. They talk about relationships. But if you still have to engage with these people and you keep it together, they will do everything in their power to make you not keep it together. And they will throw these little temper tantrums. So I just want to kind of to talk about the difference between the victim having an emotional reaction and the narcissist. And talk a little bit about reactive abuse, because people don't talk about that. So many people think that they have the issue and they're so ashamed of how they're reacting. But it is common and it is okay and it is natural when somebody is emotionally abusing you that happens. So I just wanted to make sure people knew that, because I didn't know what that was, and I didn't know why I'd get so angry when it seemed like it was like something small, but it was that collection of little things that were small all the time. And again, narcissism, and diving deep into it, a lot of people don't understand if it didn't happen to them. It's so complex. So again, I just wanted to talk a little bit about reactionary abuse, because people don't always talk about that, and then the victim is shamed even more from themselves and others because they will react that way. So yes, let me know if you want to hear more about this. And this was just going to be the topic for today. I just wanted something short and kind of to the point. You can go on my Instagram or my Facebook. I'm more active on Instagram, and you could check out this post and see what I said about it, see what other people said about it. Let me know if you want me to go more into narcissism, especially with family, or again, relationships, friendships. Even it's common in friendships, and that's another area people don't realize that. So if you're interested in any of that, please let me know. Subscribe to my channel. Let me know what other topics you want to hear about. Like if you liked this video, if you want me to make them longer, shorter, include other stuff, anything, just let me know. Again, you can go to ladybcollective.com and see what's going on. Go to any of my social media and check out my stories, and just let me again know what you guys want to hear and say. And I hope that this is helpful. I hope that if you're going through this, I'm so sorry. I hope that you can get out of it. If you know a friend or a family member, I think we all know someone, or it's happened to ourselves in different settings, whether it be the workplace, in relationships, family, happened to a best friend, somebody. Like, this is something that happens a lot. And when there's emotional and mental aspects of abuse as opposed to physical, it's just so much harder to pinpoint, and it really wreaks havoc on our mental health. And that's will just keep bleeding into other areas of our life. So with all that being said, I just want you to know that you are enough, and you are capable, and you are worthy of good stuff. For a long time, I didn't believe that. And when you're not treated well, or you're not appreciated, you're not going to feel that way. But I want you to know that you are. And I think that's the time to dig into your own self and to find ways to accept and start loving yourself and start treating yourself right. And when you slowly do that, you will start unraveling and seeing how people treat you. And you will see how much a lot of times we don't deserve. And And I don't want this to come across as there's the victims and, you know, oh gosh, poor whoever's going through this. But the reality is it really is difficult. But the other side is that there is wellness in this. There is feeling better and getting help and being better. You don't have to stay in this vicious cycle. And there's just little steps that you can take. Again, starting to trust in yourself, starting to say, no, this isn't the reality, right? Even to yourself, knowing that you know reality, you know the difference, you know what's going on. Even if it feels like you don't, standing up for yourself in your own mind and to yourself, and knowing that you're good and you know the truth. And I think that's also really important. People don't always believe or understand, knowing that you know the truth of the matter, and knowing that also narcissists like to pick very empathetic, kind people that are smart and that are going places. That's who they do this to. And so in a weird way, you have to go back to that and realize that you will see yourself losing parts of yourself, but you have to go back and remember who you are right at the core, and that you are a good person, and think of those experiences and those people and the great things around you, and help bring that back. You can take back your life. You can take back your power. It takes time. It doesn't happen overnight. There's remnants of emotional abuse that stick with you. That's the reality, but there is hope in that. And I believe that anyone can take back their life with hard work and staying consistent and realizing that it's hard, but it's really worth it. So I feel like I've been like, with that being said, no, but seriously this time, with that being said, I am just sending all the love to everyone right now. And I hope that this is a little bit helpful. Reach out to me and DM me, or go to info@ladybecollective.com if you want to talk more. I can also tell you people and accounts that really deal with narcissism, but since I do women's wellness and empowerment, I thought that this was a topic that I wanted to do in parts, because again, it can be so overwhelming. So I hope this did help you to see if this is happening in your relationship, or just make sense of some of the things that may not be making sense if you're going through this, or somebody that you love is going through this. And so I hope you have a great Sunday, and I will talk to you next week. Bye.